What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode 2, where we're taking it off where we left it last time, where Phua got it in with bottom set against Rui Cao's combo draw and won a 700k pot. If you haven't checked out that episode, then find it on my YouTube channel. These guys are drinking, they're enjoying the great game of PLO. As you can tell, it's a lively table. Alright, he takes in the chips. Let's move on to the next hand.
Play Rui Cao PLO. Jack. Last time I played with him PLO.
Yeah, but it's good advertising.
It's a guy that knows how to manage his stack. Anyway, this is a different structure in case you guys didn't see the prior video. It's a 1000 ante per player, 2000 on the button. It starts under the gun next to the big blind. So it's a game where you can see, or where you should see, a lot of limping. Timothy comes in with a limp. Makes a lot of sense that he wouldn't even have a raising range in this spot. His hand also is a hand that doesn't necessarily want to bloat the pot into a single raise pot scenario. Like, he wants to limp re-raise his entire stack if possible, or most of his stack, or just limp and play a smaller pot.
Like, okay, 20% free roll, please.
Calls 2000, so Paul
No, just two.
No, you're straddle. Oh,
continues as well.
I'm two, right?
Very surprising to see Tom just call this time. Like, he was raising a lot of other trashy hands before, and now he just overlimps queen jack jack deuce double. I wonder if he suspects that Timothy has a very strong hand, but this is a good enough hand to raise for sure the queen jack jack deuce double in this structure.
Nim. Short extra.
So Rui takes up the potting option now. Ace 10 10 8 not suit. It's definitely also a good enough hand to bump it up. Why not?
Experience in PLO. Big in it already.
Elton has king 9 4 deuce double.
Got a pot from Rui Cao.
It's going to be a very difficult hand to proceed post flop.
I did not know I have 3-7, you know. I forgot.
So Timothy could limp raise basically to a quite significant amount, like 60,000 or so. Let's imagine it would be 60k. So if he gets one caller, there's 120-ish in the middle, and he has 200 behind. That's a good result. I would say that's preferable, just like limp raise now, even though he has ace 9 deuce with a non-high suit. At the stack to pot ratio of below 2, against Rui, who has a wide range pre, like this is a good deal.
I saw your hand. I was like, please don't.
I thought I have king 7.
So he's gonna pot it to 63k. Yeah, I like it.
He's got aces here.
Dwan should just fold. His hand performs very poor against the better pair.
A funny structure. Jack deuce double suited.
Like, if Dwan wants to gamble here against the limp re-raise, he wants to choose a hand that performs well against aces, which is generally a non-paired hand that is double suited. The pair in his hand really hurts his equity a huge amount. Shouldn't make the call here. Same holds true by Rui, for Rui, by the way. Rui's hand is even worse because he also has an ace. So Dwan folds, and Rui should also fold, but this man not folding.
Committing himself to a flop.
And Elton sang with king 9 4 deuce. I mean,
8.9.
How much more?
it's not a great hand. Put it this way.
Chinese like him, you know. He play this way.
He's gonna fold. All right. Rui needs a lot of help to make this work. 150k in the middle. He has 200k behind. It's a perfect setup now for bad aces to just rip it in on most of the textures.
Still Omaha, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
So
everybody
look
knows
what the
Mexico.
flop brings.
No, but that's the TV.
It's an
Tom with a flop top
action.
set.
Is it an action
It is
flop?
Tim-
Yeah, Tom with a flop top set. That's actually true. Very much a no-brainer jam by Timothy. And I'm not sure. I mean, Rui is going to fold, right? Yeah, so he has still 200k behind. He needs like 36% equity. 36% equity. Not really going to cut it. He doesn't have a backdoor flush draw. He has an ace, which doesn't really help.
Timothy Adams.
So probably a fold.
175? How many is in the pot? 147. How much? Exactly the pot inside 147. You're
7.
Would you have it so much more often?
Yeah, it's going to fold. Good fold. Should have folded pre though.
We're getting some PLO lessons from Tom.
This is the last one, right? Ah. Should maybe call your 9.
I can play PLO.
Tomorrow I'm going to win. I'm not. Maybe
I'm very confused. Like Dwan now limps again with king, queen, 10, 7 double. Definitely a hand strong enough to raise and just trying to build the pot and maybe gain position over Paul, who might limp call.
How much?
13.
I go to this.
Okay, so now things get spicy. Rui Cao, with what is most likely a marginal raise. If he has the ace of clubs, like that's the only card he can have where this raise becomes like really standard. And then Elton Sang takes the 8-8, 7-6, 3 clubs to the streets.
Whatever they want to play. And then we go to
Again, if you start out playing PLO for the first time, kind of, you look at these like connected hands and think, oh, they're very strong because they have so much going for themselves. Like 8-8, 7-6 has a pair and like has all these straight draw options. But those, especially the middling and lower rundown kind of hands and pairs, are like way weaker than you would imagine.
How's that?
So this hand is at best a call pre.
Good practice.
Don't want to 3-bet this hand.
Later.
Even if Rui gives a lot of action. So Tom comes in for the call now. So he calls 2,000 and now calls 36,000. It's just like if your hand is worth 36k, why not just raise against the limp?
Winning. How much?
But okay. 3-way to the flop, 114,000 in the middle. And we have 280 behind an Elton stack and 470 in a Rui stack.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Hey, winning.
That's a very dry
We
flop.
have a mystery card for Rui Cao, but he's got...
We got.
I mean, Elton is the pre-flop 3-better. His 8-8-7-6 in some ways is also blocking 9x combos. It's just time to bet like quarter pot and see what happens. I guess he checked. Don't like
check
that.
around. Queen on the turn.
In from the start.
Tom turns the queen. Should he bet?
No one's got that strong of a piece.
I'm one, huh?
Probably not.
If I lose 5 bullets, you...
Checks through her as a 10. So now things...
Tom's got...
I mean, Tom could have the best hand given how wide the ranges are. It looks like he wants to turn his hand into a bluff. The issue that I kind of see with that is, are people really going to fold a straight behind him? Because that's basically the objective. It could be that he's trying to make aces fold or kings. Could be a reasonable attempt trying to make like pocket aces fold here if he bets large enough.
Top 2.
Yeah, I don't hate it too much, but...
It's a little bet out there.
Oh, he bets 18,000. He value bets.
And Rui Cao snap
He
pots it.
pots.
Likely with the blockers.
What does he have? He could have 10-10. Probably just bluffing.
So annoying.
Possibly has a hand.
I want to see that
King
last
Jack,
card.
but
Oh, he never has King Jack. He would never pass size raise with King Jack. It's too weak of a hand. He needs to have like another 4, another 10 to be value raising, and
it's hard to
a
say.
blank to be bluffing.
He's splashy. He goes for extra value. Tom's gonna lay down his hand.
No fear. By Rui Cao. Okay.
Experimentation that these guys do.
Next hand, we have a limp, a raise by the kings with the queen high suit. Elton calls queen queen 7-6 rainbow. Paul Phua has a very nice hand. King queen jack 10 double.
Double.
Comes for the 3-bet 48,000. Sure.
No.
Wait, you call
No, maybe
11,000?
SS queen.
And then get
No, it's pot. How much?
And then pot.
So Tom calls 48,000 now. After limping 2,000 with 10-8-7-6, he's here to gamble. Like this hand is really in trouble against so many like dominating straight draws. It's gonna be a tough one, a toughie.
Again.
Rui calls with the kings.
You want me
Sure.
to pot again? How much total now?
Queen queen 7-6 rainbow is also like burning quite a bit of money here by calling.
Yeah, one
Your ace is not good.
200k in the pot.
But hey, these guys showed up to gamble. Huge flop for Paul Phua. He has flop top pair and a wrap and a flush draw and a straight flush draw. And Tom has that dominated straight draw kind of thing. He has a bottom wrap, no flush draw, and a pair of 5s. So I don't know if he was excited about this flop, but that's the exact issue with that kind of hand. It's like you will get dominated in 4-way pots so often when you feel like you flopped a big piece. But he's in serious trouble here against Paul's hand.
200k in the pot.
His first to act, he checks. There are already 200,000 in the middle, a lot of draws out there. So I would expect Paul to just... Paul could also bet smaller if he wants to. He could bet something like 50k or 75k.
Check.
Everybody check lah. Wait for me to.
I think this is gonna pot because that's how people usually play when they start playing the game. Just pot.
This is actually good.
They have jack. Maybe they have 9-9. Pot.
All right, here we go. Pot.
I have no idea what Tom is gonna do, but it's like, let's think about this. So he faces a 200k bet. He has 700k behind and 2 players. So in those spots, you want to ask yourself, like, so are there situations where you are dominating your opponent versus how frequently are you completely dominated, you know? So like the 10-8-7-5, there are spots where he's doing okay. Let's say Paul has like aces and a flush draw, but no straight draw. He has like all those pair outs and straight outs, like he's okay, in okay shape. But there are so many scenarios where he has, like, well, Paul has a hand that precisely dominates Tom Dwan's pair and straight draw and flush draw, or even just a pair and a flush draw and like some sort of straight outs. And I think there are a lot of spots where Tom is completely crushed and some spots where he's doing okay. And I think that in combination means it's time to fold. Let's see what he does. Okay. Snap call, 200,000
Tom
euros.
calls with his open-ended pair. Backdoor.
Pot is flat.
And you can see he's sitting on 20% equity here. See what the turn brings.
Oh, a big favorite.
I mean, Tom wants to turn basically a heart so he can get away from his hand, apart from the nuts, obviously.
Third card.
See what happens.
That's 7-8.
Tom, you
There'll be like
call?
so many fish on this table.
Fun, man. It's not even money.
There's been many cases.
Hits the straight.
Jesus, he hits the straight and a flush draw on top. That's a sick turn card. And even though he hit the absolute best card in the deck, he still has only 62% equity. Or I guess like the 5 would be a better card. But this is a sick turn
And
card.
backdoor flush draw for Tom Dwan.
7-8 is the nuts.
7 it is the nuts.
Yeah.
Still gotta put it in, whatever.
Tom pots it. And
He
if
checks.
Paul calls here.
This is a big pot. It's €1 million right in the middle.
Man, 1.5 million
Jesus.
euro in the middle.
Obviously, Paul can never fold. He has a wrap and a flush draw.
7-8. The flush draw. You owe him. Just now, any.
No.
It's a big pot.
Flop.
Okay, so he might be trapping. Cannot be trapping like Omaha. How
He
be
just called.
trapping? How much?
499.
$4.99. How much in the pot?
4.99. You can spread the spread the pot. Spread the pot.
You can count for him.
You can.
Go.
All right, here we go. Makes the call. 1.5 million euro in the middle.
He's excited.
Oh yeah.
2 times.
Oh yeah.
Street. 2 times.
50-50. I mean,
50-50 of red flush draws. 2 times.
I don't know. I know I have this.
Okay, Tom really wants to run it 2 times, which is understandable. It's a 1.5 million euro pot.
Super monster hand.
But if you're the rich guy in this case, you just want to deliver the ultimate punishment. We'll see what happens.
Him, if you want.
Super
See how frightened these guys are.
Super.
He offers him the chop. He's smart. He's a businessman. He's like, let's just chop it instead of running it 2 times. You want to run it 2 times? You want to like lower the variance? Let's just chop it. Tom knows he's a favorite, so he can't do that.
2 times.
He also has the.
Okay, 2 times.
They're friendly. They're friendly. 2 times.
First one.
Okay, let's see.
So we're gonna love Omaha.
What you have?
2. First, give me a 2 space.
Straight. He has flush draw as well.
No.
2 then 9. 9 then jack.
50-50.
It's not 50-50.
It's not. He has a lot of.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll
And
be
he also
happy
has
to lose
interference.
to Paul.
Yeah.
First
Wow.
one. Paul, boss man.
First one, I cannot lose.
Ah, wow. He smashed it.
It's a flush.
Very likely to win the second one.
We were likely now.
50-50.
50-50 again.
You want a job?
Yes.
Okay.
Sick turn card though. And that's why you don't play 10-8-7-5 guys out there. Be careful.
Yeah, I can tell this.
Is it? Keep asking the same thing every time.
It's a nice looking hand.
8-7-6-5
8-7-6-5.
Rui Cao.
Again,
Of course
usually
he's
way
raising.
overplayed. We got Viking Young. Calls. Queen, Queen, Jack 4. Makes sense.
Suited
Elton has
pocket
aces on the quote-unquote short stack. Easy squeeze.
Yeah.
Makes it 56k. Tom Dwan has ace 10, 10, 3. Again, these pocket pairs, they perform really bad against narrow ranges. Like if your opponent has aces, like in this case, you perform really bad. So it's just time to fold, and he does fold. Rory has an easy call with the rundown. This hand performs well against aces, so you want to call. And then Viking Young, again, not a great hand against like the pair.
Call.
Decides to make the call. 3-way to the flop. It's the last thing you want to see when you have aces. So, well, he did flop 2 pair, I guess, and then Viking Young has a set. I'd say in Viking's shoes, you want to just check first and just see what happens.
So mid-set for
172k in the
Viking
middle,
Young.
yeah.
Elton's got a pot-sized bet.
Elton has a pot-sized bet left and top and bottom. The thing, though, is like there is not much to protect against or gain value from. He also doesn't block Jack 10. So I would say it's a decent spot to just take a free card
He's gonna
here.
go for it. Feel committed. He
It's
is.
understandable that he decides to shove, but I don't think it does too well.
So people that are new to
It's called by the set.
they fold this spot on the turn too much. Basically, when doesn't have the nuts. The flop, you played it. That turn showed you the nut. Big things in Omaha is a lot of times people have like a 4 stall in.
Blink on a turn.
I mean,
Ace of king.
Elton's going to top.
200, 400.
Viking 1.
I will play.
right? Didn't want 400 and
Okay, we have one more hand in this footage.
Best of the best. They said I'm the best of the best.
Limpy Limpy. Again, based on the structure, this makes a lot of sense.
God.
They go to the flop. 5 players. Probably not going to be too
I don't know about
interesting.
moron, but
Paul
okay. He's
bets.
just betting here with
Paul bets in a 5-way pot. Queen 10, 7, 7.
mid-pair. No.
I mean, not too advisable. Tony folds even the king.
Okay.
That makes actually
take
quite a
it.
bit of sense. We're going to wrap up this episode as well. There's another PLO episode awaiting us. So if you guys enjoyed this video and this content, make sure to smash the like button, leave a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel in case you don't want to miss future episodes. This has been JNandez over and out. See you in the next one.